Welcome back, everyone, to another segment of the MCR. Mac and me, my name's TJ, coming back at you. In this segment, we're going to talk about two individuals that have been identified as terrorists. Both reside or are homegrown here in the U.S., U.S. citizens, and both have been, one's charged and the other one's been found guilty involving terrorist charges. And we're going to compare the two, okay? And unless you've been living under a rock, most everyone is aware now of Tucker Carlson on Fox airing a video from January 6th, 2020. And, the Democrats aren't very happy about it. A side note, and I heard this on the radio today, so I'm assuming what I heard is true, but part of the negotiations with, I'm going to say the MAGA crowd, and now Speaker McCarthy, part of the negotiations involved the release of this video. Did you know that, Mac?
I did, and I remember at the time when the McCarthy thing was going on, the speaker votes were going to whatever it came to, 15, 16. I was getting hell from a lot of people because why can't they just get it done? Well, had they just got it done, we wouldn't be seeing these videos, and these videos are damn important to see.
Yeah. So the first person we're going to talk about is the infamous QAnon shaman guy, and that's what all the leftists, all the hacks on MSNBC, CNN, those networks, they were calling him QAnon shaman. I guess the guy's name is Jacob Chansley, and if people aren't aware of who we're talking about, he's the guy that was walking through the Capitol with some kind of, and I'm going to tell you right now, some kind of goofy hat with horns, And Mac, I got a question for you. When you saw that guy's picture, did you take him seriously?
No, in fact, I thought he was probably an idiot.
That's what I
not only because of how he looked, but what he did. He stepped right into their trap.
Yeah, but
and now he's in prison for his good deed.
Well, this is true, but when I first saw pictures of the guy, walking around like that, I thought, how can you possibly take this guy seriously? And but he served it up to the left. He served it up to the left, and I don't know if he pled guilty or what, but he was sentenced to 4 years in prison for walking around inside the Capitol building looking like a goofball. And by the way, the reports are he didn't break anything. He didn't bust. They don't believe he busted through any doors, broke any windows. In fact, he had a police.
Videos. You've seen the videos, right?
Yeah.
I saw a police officer who was walking with him open a door to the House chamber for him.
Yeah, well, I was going to say he had his own police escort.
Why isn't that police officer being charged with terrorism then?
Well, I heard, and it might have been Gallagher on the radio today. He thought, well, if you help someone steal from a bank or break into a house, are you not an accessory to that crime?
Going to my point.
And rhetorical question was, when you look at this video, are these police officers not accessories?
Yeah.
So that's one example of a terrorist. And then we have another example of a terrorist. Past weekend, all hell is broken loose down in Atlanta. Antifa's been attacking a construction site where law enforcement was attempting to build a training facility for their officers. and the Antifa crowd has basically been firebombing this thing. Now, I think I heard, I'm not 100% certain of this, but I think I heard the number 23. They arrested 23.
That sounds like what I heard as well.
Okay, they arrested 23, and of those 23 people, one was from Canada, one was from France, as in Francais, but
maybe they know Pierre Delecto, I wonder.
Well, I don't know, maybe, but only 2 of the 23 were from Georgia. So basically, 21 of the people arrested were out of state individuals. Now, here's our other example of another terrorist. There's a guy by the name of Tom Jurgens, and he is an attorney for what's referred to as, or what they go by the title of Southern Poverty Law Center. And you've heard of them, right, Mac?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Off the top of your head, do you know what one of the things they strive to basically track, or one of the things?
I think it's in its inception, it was a civil rights organization that I imagine got taken over by the communists in this country, and they are in this country. You can see them everywhere. This is an example.
Well, where I was going with my question here was, they've become the group that identifies terrorist organizations.
Yeah, the arbiters of who is a terrorist, who's a hate group, blah blah blah.
Oh yeah, yeah. And
I will include in the description box a list of all the people they say are bad.
Yeah. This Southern Poverty Law Center has, they've become the ones who determine who is and who isn't a terrorist. And here, one of their own attorneys is arrested. Basically, he was involved in firebombing this law enforcement. It wasn't. The construction hadn't been completed, so it wasn't an operation. Basically, a construction site for the law enforcement. Okay.
Right.
And because I think I saw a picture of a bulldozer or something on fire. You know.
As well.
But I guess the Southern Poverty Law Center, their position was, well, Tom Jurgens was there. Now get this. He was present to ensure that the protesters' civil rights weren't violated.
Yeah, that's the hypocrisy is you could swim through it. You know what I think ought to happen to these folks, should they be convicted after their fair trial, maybe even unfair trial, the way things go their way? These two from out of the country, they ought to spend their vacation time at Gitmo.
Yeah.
Just like every other terrorist.
And we haven't even touched on the mystery surrounding Ray Epps.
Right.
I'm just going to throw that in as icing on the cake, but I guess what I was trying to do in this segment here is take these two individuals and compare them to each other. And this Jacob Chansley, should he have been inside the Capitol? No. But they're gonna sentence him to 4 years. And how much time does anyone think this Tom Jurgens is really ever going to do? And
right.
You talk about you want an example of a 2-tier justice system. Right here it is.
Bingo, right on the mark.
So that was the only thing I wanted to pound home in this segment. Okay. And any thoughts, Mac? Any final thoughts?
You just better hope you're not on the wrong end of that 2-tier justice system.
If
you have a hat like this or like yours, you might well be.
Yeah. All right. That's a wrap. We'll catch you on the next segment. Thanks everyone for your support. And as always, be safe, watch your 6, and don't tread on me.